My name is Donnie, and you suck at Photoshop. You didn't get it the first 10 times, dipstick. Maybe this time one of the millions of you can squirt one through the hoop. Let's say you've been gone for a while, and when you got back, you had a whole bunch of emails waiting for you, and there was one that stood out in particular that said you were delinquent, paying child support to your estranged wife for a child you don't have. And you want to make an image that says, you're crazy, the doctors ruled it out, go put your moo back on and watch your stories. So let's find an image that'll help us tell a story of our own. We're going to do this a little bit differently, though. We're not going to open this image up through Bridge. We're going to open it up through Photoshop, and we're going to open it as a smart object. Don't get worried. Don't let the name scare you. You'll be able to use it. And we're going to tell a story about this little guy. We're going to call him Ronnie. And Ronnie wants to go on a journey. And Ronnie wants to bring along some friends, millions of friends. Because if Ronnie can't get the job done, maybe one of Ronnie's friends can. So we'll create a layer group called Friends, and we'll put Ronnie in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to size Ronnie down so he's got room for other friends. The thing about the smart objects, and I think it's kind of ironic that it's called smart objects and I'm teaching it to you. Did you get that? Is that when you have a smart object, when you make changes to that object, you're only making changes to a copy of it, and you can go back later on and do other things to it. What we're going to do is we're going to, because Ronnie's so far away from the camera, we're going to create a little bit of a blur. And you're thinking, whoa, wait a minute, if you want to use Ronnie again later on, how are you going to do that? You've got, shut up. Just stop talking, because I'm going to show you. We're going to duplicate Ronnie, and when I do this, as you can see, I'm holding down Option Command and moving the cursor. It's creating new layers in my layer group. And we can create a bunch of little Ronnies. Like this is Johnny. And this is Lonnie. And this is Franny. So Ronnie's little friends, and we can turn them and flip them, whatever we want to do. It's just making another copy. These guys are all trying to make their way to the place where they can fulfill their destiny. And the question is, will they make it? Now that we've got a bunch of Ronnie's friends, we can start to duplicate the layer group and start making lots and lots of Ronnie's friends. Contrary to public opinion, Ronnie may not be super effective, but he's got lots of friends. And so we'll make sure that we note that with these groups. And just to organize, we'll create another layer group called Little Friends. And we'll put all of these in here. And so now we want to make bigger friends. So let's take a Ronnie and put it up here. And you're like, well, wait a minute. You used a filter on it. You already Gaussian blurred it out. You really shut. I said stop talking. And that's the last time. All we have to do is remove the filter, and we've got our Ronnie back. He's just fine. And in fact, you're thinking, well, you sized him down. He's lost at resolution. Wrong. Ronnie is in full effect. So now we're going to make some medium-sized Ronnie friends who are closer to the camera. You can make a bunch of Ronnies wherever you want. So now that we've got Ronnie and all of his friends here, now what we want to do, um, we can add in a nice background that, where would Ronnie and his friends be playing? Well, they would be traveling through an awful icy cavern that is lifeless and devoid of caring. That looks right. And now what we want to do is the ultimate burn on anybody who would send an email claiming child support and say, it wasn't Ronnie at all. It was another little guy. And so what we're going to do is double click the smart object, and we're going to open up a copy of the smart object. And what we want to do is change it to not be Ronnie, but to be somebody else. Say Little Ricky. And we want to make sure that everybody knows that it's different. So we're going to go to Image, Adjust Hue Saturation, and we're going to pick a color that's more suitable for Little Ricky, like a flamin' hot Cheeto kind of color, because apparently Little Ricky has the spark that changed the ice cavern into a warm tropical place, and apparently tickets to Josh Groban and a job were really all it took to make that happen. So save this object, and what it's doing now is it's updating all of the smart objects in the other open document, and when we return, we will have changed a swimming school of Ronnies into a bunch of squirming little Rickies. And maybe now someone can understand that Ronnie never made that journey. He never finished the trip. Ronnie never had a chance because of prolonged exposure to solid waste and excessive laptop and bed usage. But that's all going to change now, little Ronnie.